What up, everybody? We are over here at Poppy's Garage. We got Adrian, we got Goldust, we got a set of Amp Research power steps, and Goldust is finally gonna get a set of steps because, you know, right now I gotta open it up and then you gotta climb in. I'm gonna make it a little bit easier. Just have a step like right there. So we actually developed a bracket kit that works on all bump sides and dent sides, and we're gonna be releasing that pretty soon. Manny is actually about to weld it up, and that's one of the brackets. We got 4 brackets similar to that one, and we're gonna show you how to install all of this stuff. So here we go. Alright, so first I'm going to show you guys what all comes with the amp step kit. So the one that you're going to need to use is part number 75113-01A, which is actually for a 99 to 2006 Chevy. Now, I know what you're saying, it's a Chevy, I don't want to put Chevy steps. The reason why we want the Chevy steps is the way this bracket goes. So these are the easiest to make work with our trucks, and what you get is you get 4 of the brackets, you get 2 motors, 2 steps. These are the brackets that we're not going to use. This is to mount it on a Chevy, and you get the little computer and then the wiring harness, which Adrian has already started to play with. So you get this wiring harness, and it's pretty plug and play. Everything is just plug and play. Usually it's not going to be necessarily for one of these, and I'll show you the little things that you're going to have to do to make it work on one of your old trucks, just like this one. But here looks like this little sample
that'll sit there, and then that's the support.
Well, would you look at that? So yeah, and now he's finalizing that, and Adrian is working on doing the wiring. I'm not gonna bore you guys with all the wiring stuff because you can literally just refer to the instruction manual, and I'm gonna start showing you guys once the install of the hardware goes. What's up, Manny?
What's up, Solo?
What you doing?
So we got some brackets here that you've been bugging me for about what, a year and a half now?
Yeah.
So you've had these steps for the same amount of time sitting in the same camper.
Yep.
So we got the bracket. You're gonna have another bracket that's a motorized one. It's the same exact, I guess, amp step bracket. So every kit will include 4 of this one and 4 of this one. This is the one that's gonna hug the actual amp step bracket. This is what's gonna sit, you know, in line with the pinch weld. And then basically this is a brace. So you'll see now that Adrian will assemble this with this for me, just for jigging purposes. We'll mock it up on the pinch weld, at which point you'll mark your 2 holes. And these 2 holes you will drill. Be comfortable with the drill. We're using a 3/8 bit, so you can have tons of play. We actually send 1/4 20 fasteners. Don't be scared to torque them down. We will send grade 8 hardware. Ignore the one that you see on the video. This is just grade 5 hardware that we're using for the video, for anybody that might actually want to point that out. And then you'll see that both of these will just sandwich together. And then at the very end, you're gonna have a 5/16 bolt. Do we have it here? Yeah. And this 5/16 bolt is what goes at the top. You can have this one started before you put everything up. Once again, you'll see everything now, but at the very end, grab a flex head, or it could be a regular open-ended wrench, and just tighten that bolt down, because that's what's gonna cause this step to seat nicely upon the top. So we're putting this 5/16 bolts, now that we're done drilling all the 4 holes. I think it's a little bit easier to install if this one's at least started. And then it's always better if you have somebody else. Also, the 1/4 20 nuts fall right into these little pre-made hex holes that the amp steps have. So you should be good to go. Grab your favorite partner. Just kind of like fish them through. If you get lucky, you can get the bottom ones in. If not, The ones that go horizontal will hold it in place for you. For the bottom or for the side? It doesn't matter. Good stuff.
All right, so now that you got them all bolted in, then what?
Well, we only tighten the bottoms, which are actually easier to tighten because the little hex thing that we mentioned. We like to tighten the bottoms first because it brings this backward, and then this should walk it to place. And then don't forget the very last one. Now you'll feel some resistance, so grab your open-ended wrench and just go to town, and you'll see that it'll slowly walk it to a point where you can't move anymore. So after that, your brackets are done. Slab on some steps, hook up some wires. You're ready to go, baby.
Looks like we put that on there, huh? Or by me, I mean you.
Looks like it's on, baby. Let's give it a good step.
Yeah, didn't fall.
I left my. So the steps that we use are off of an 05 or 06 Chevy. Point is, these wires just need a ground source. Your normal door switch, trigger, door switch, whatever you want to call it, is the one that sends ground to the dome light will work. So you'll see that we'll supply ground here, and that would mimic the door opening. So you'll see now in the original location on these bumps where the door switch is. Obviously, keep in mind, once you cut the ground, it has a little bit of a delay to not catch your foot, or if you open the door again, so it's not like going up and down over and over. You'd see where the door switch is. You wanna come on. So you'd fish any one of these two wires to the OEM bracket where the door switch would go. Here, this door switch, upon being released, will send ground to your dome light, number one, and number two to your amp step. And you already know that once this has ground supplied, step will open. So you have two. You can wire one. You can wire both of them together if you only have a two-door, or you'd wire one per door if you have a crew cab.
And a lot of people are probably going to ask, does this work on a two-door?
Yeah, absolutely, this would work. As you all know, if you don't know, amp steps, Adrian will show you the cap in the back.
Yes, this cap.
Yeah. So amp steps, you can remove that cap.
Take
and
this cap.
you can cut this board to whatever size. So if you made a 1.5 door, or if you made a 6-door, and you want to put two boards together, and you want to make this happen, you can make this happen. There's just like if you feel like this running board is a little too long on your crew cab and you want it shorter, you can also trim it down. So.
And then for the install of the brackets, it actually goes and rides on this, so you can put this bracket anywhere. If you wanted it to go back here, up there, so that's why it fits 2 doors, 4 doors, 8 doors, whatever.
The brackets go on that pinch weld like Solly just said. That pinch weld is a uniform pinch weld across the whole length of the cab. We're gonna show you now some ideas on where we think is the best position to put them. So in the rear, if you take note, open the door, Adrian, you'll see that the step of the rear isn't actuated by a motor, so it's better to have the step right where the foot would be. So you'd notice if you open that door, that's kind of your first landing foot. That would give you the most support. And then in the front, you'd want to be as far forward on the pinch weld without being just all the way forward. That's going to be the best way to drive it.
Awesome.
So now we're on this side. This is that pinch weld that we're hugging. So we're going to grab the lower brace piece, and we're going to just put it where we want to position the actual motor and bracket. We'll use this as a jig pretty much to make these 2 holes. What I'm doing is that I'm marking them with a drip bit, making a small pilot hole. You'll notice that the hole is actually very close to the edge. It doesn't matter if you have a messed up pinch weld and you blow out the edge. What we care about here is about squeezing this pinch weld with our bracket and the brace. Now that the bottom holes are drilled on the pinch weld, you're gonna grab your top bracket and you're gonna put it there. You're gonna notice that sometimes the top bracket doesn't line up exactly with that. That's okay. We actually want it to line up at a little bit of an angle because as we compress the back, it puts stress against this corner, and that's what creates such like a nice rigid piece. So we'll just get it somewhat lined up nice and straight, and then we'll use this as a jig to mark our center points of our horizontal holes. And then 2 more holes and that should be it. Remember, your motorized brackets will go on the front. I guess you could put them in the rear. We just like to put them in the front. It's a good measure to put the little nuts that sit in there.
Never bad to say again, but
you want to tighten these low ones first. That'll bring this bracket down. And then remember, you have this one still loose. Then we'll tighten the ones on the, I don't know what you would call these, the ones that come horizontal that are on the vertical piece of the pinch weld. This one we need the wrench. And then lastly, you'll tighten this one after everything is tight. And if you notice, this guy's not going nowhere. Plug her in, wire your lights, should be good to go, baby. So after you finish both brackets, bring in the step. Step is gonna be very easy to install. Make sure you slide this little slider right in so you can line up the Allens. Once again, it's easier to do with 2 people.
okay.
You can see what's going on there?
Yep.
Go ahead.